I got to know how you prepared for this role because you got to go in a totally different mindset than you did for probably anything else we've seen you in, right?
Totally. Well, I've largely taken the last 6 years off, and in prep for this film, I worked with the director every week on my core character Jack, and then met up for about what was supposed to be a week with Vicky and the director before we started shooting to rehearse Elizabeth, the character that we play together, my mother, her wife. And after a day, we were like, we're not doing a whole week. We want to save this energy. Vicky and I were also like, we don't see this as a supernatural film. We see it as a film where two people create this antagonizer in their life and someone they love in their life to deal with their trauma that that person's left them. And because there's no like hair, makeup,
Yeah.
voice, prosthetic component, we don't actually need to play the same version of Elizabeth as the other is. And
Mhm.
because of that, it meant that we didn't need to do this extensive rehearsal on Elizabeth because we had done our extensive rehearsal on our own with Jack and with Jill, our core characters. Um, but it was a long year of just getting into the right headspace. And we were both bringing our own real world trauma to the characters. So that obviously helped significantly.
Yeah, well, and you get a script like this, you must just think, I got to do this, right?
Totally, 100%. And the playing the third character thing was a big thing. The director's vision was super evident from day dot. He had a really cool PowerPoint presentation and creative deck that he'd created. So I was like, okay, well, this filmmaker is obviously really interesting. And I'd seen his first film, Sequin in a Blue Room, which is amazing as well, that he made at university at film school.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people have been looking up to you, and I know they will even more after seeing something like this. What kind of advice do you give to those actors that want to follow in your footsteps?
I always say to people, you just have to. Well, here I'll answer it in two parts.
Yeah.
First part is as Dacre, in terms of my process at choosing roles and trying to. I basically wake up every day and hustle as hard as I can. And B, I just watch a ton of movie and TV. That's the biggest thing. It's like you want to be in the industry, you kind of got to watch as much as possible. So I watch a ton of stuff and then I base my decision making on that. So really what I tell people is watch as much content as you can, film, TV, whatever it is, theater that you're into, and also just be really hardworking and particular about what you want. Because I think anyone and everyone who I've met in any industry who's successful is specific. They're like super specific, super detail orientated, and work super hard. And that's the common denominator, I think, with a lot of people that have been able to do what they love as, as a have a career doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we my co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys, caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. So we got to ask you, those Hail Mary moments, the moment in your life or career you just had to go for it. This might be a big one of those, right?
It hands down is. I remember when I got the script, and my partner and I have been together like 8 years, and I got the script and I was crying. I was like, this is it. This is what I waited forever to do. This is what if I never work again after this, I'm happy, right? So if that's a Hail Mary, 100%. And she broke out down in tears, seeing me in tears. She was like, I've been with you for 5 years, at this point, 5 years. And she was just crying and going, oh my God, this is totally the moment. And it did, it changed my life. Just the process of making the movie was so therapeutic and so cathartic to go on my own journey as Dacre to discover what Jack was discovering in real time and go through my own trauma. So this was totally, totally that moment in this new chapter
Yeah,
of my career, my life.
that's beautiful. And what do you keep in mind that keeps you on the right path always?
Keep in mind, like in terms of
Yeah,
like a value
yeah,
set or
just
yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Look, dude, it sounds like you have a connection to sport as well. I
Yeah,
grew up playing sport, and
yeah,
to answer your question, I want to integrate that kind of thing. So I grew up really big kid, lots of anxiety, pretty overweight, all this stuff. The only thing that keeps me on track, dude, is I get up at 5 o'clock every morning. I go absolutely destroy myself in the gym for an hour and a half because not because I want to be like jacked and look good, but because literally that's the only way I can process the day, my life, make sense of my thoughts, where I want to go, what I want to do, is go and meditate in the gym. And that's been something that I've discovered as an adult, and that's something I fall back on 6 days a week, 52 weeks a year. That's where I am. I'm literally in a gym, in a hotel gym, or my gym at home, just destroying my body.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can probably describe it. It's something
Um,
consistent that I come back to.
That's amazing. Well, one last thing, really love everything that you're doing, and I know that this movie is going to mean a lot to people. So, what do you want people to get out of this and take away? Because there's a whole lot going on here.
Totally. Well, it's super divisive and it's really intense. But I think the one thing I'd want people to get out of this film is because it's about child child abuse and domestic violence and all that sort of stuff is there's a way out. There is a way out. There's always a way. Find someone, talk to someone, use your support, use your networks to try and get out of the cycle that you're in. Because at the end of the movie's so dark and so intense. But at the end of this film, we see both characters move on move on with their lives, get out from under that weight of loving someone but hating them at the same time. That's what I want people to get out of this.
That's beautiful. Hey, and before we let you go, anything else we're going to see you in coming up? Because after this, I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I've got in Gus Van Sant's next film with Al Pacino and Bill Skarsgård and Coleman Domingo. We're taking that to festivals in about a month's time, and we'll I'm sure find a home and distribution for it from there. But it's a true story, hostage situation from Indian set in Indianapolis in the 70s. So I'm really excited for people to see that as well.
That's beautiful. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time, the great answers. Wonderful to talk to you. We're going to tell everyone to check out this film, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Paul. Take
Thanks so
care.
much.
I'll speak to you
Appreciate you.
soon.
All
Cheers.
right.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.